Where do I even begin? I met this girl in Oklahoma City. I moved there for work 5 years ago. Met her through Tinder. We had a very strong relationship in OKC. Loved each other very much. Due to changing occupations, I had to move to Los Angeles for work. I asked her, she could stay in Oklahoma with her family, no hard feelings, I would understand. Or she could come with me to start a new life. She chose the latter option. The first few months in LA were great, but it soon started to slip. She stopped helping out with chores. She stopped wanting to spend time with me. It's not all her fault in the beginning of our strifes. I should have paid closer attention to her and been a good boyfriend. I was trying though. Mind you, I paid the entire portion of the rent, about $2,500 a month. She worked at a tanning salon, wasn't making nearly enough. I had to beg for her to just cover the utilities and internet payment. She also had to pay for her car insurance and loan. I supported her in every aspect of life. I encouraged and helped her with the paperwork to get her back into school. I even did assignments for her, which looking back now was a mistake. January of 2020 she started staying out sleeping over her new friend's home a lot. Wouldn't text me about it. Wouldn't see her for over 24 hours usually. She would mosey back to our apartment unannounced and expect me to be chipper to see her. Obviously I would be upset with her. I also noticed she wouldn't let me see her phone. These were huge red flags, suspicions that I pushed out of my mind due to the love I had for her. I told myself she would never do something like that to me. I was wrong. I went on a trip home to visit family in July. I came back to my apartment and she had taken her belongings and was gone. Left a note about how she can't do our relationship anymore. Coward's way out, I thought. Blocked me on all social media and my family. Against better judgment, I told her to reconsider. She agreed. She had moved into a new apartment near her new job at this point. She got a new job a week before my trip. After 4 months of back and forth, she finally said she was ready. My lease had ended at this point and I was going month to month, very expensive. $1,000 in moving fees. I get to her apartment. I notice something is off. There's no room for my stuff. It's a completely furnished apartment. It wasn't until 2 days later that I found out person she was cheating on me with was living with her. I didn't know that she cheated on me yet at this point. A couple days ago, I chatted with the other girl. That's when I found out about the whole web of lies my girlfriend had woven. This girl did not know about me for 6 months. My girlfriend had gone on Tinder and found her back in October of 2019. I confronted her about it 2 days ago. She still had the audacity to deny she cheated on me. Mind you, I had asked her if she did on multiple different occasions during our relationship. We had a screaming match basically. I told her she didn't deserve happiness and I hoped that she would always be alone. Now I'm stuck living on my couch in her living room while I look for another apartment. She's still continuing her relationship with the other girl. I can hear their conversations and laughter coming from the other room. FML. This was just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. If I wrote down everything she did to me, this post would be a novel. No harsh comments about my stupidity, please. I know I'm dumb and I'm really embarrassed about the whole thing. Just looking for support right now. Broken-hearted and discarded. My wife of 16 years recently fell in love with one of her therapy clients for substance use. He had been a client since April of 2021, but in September around the time we had a major dispute, she suddenly started messaging him after therapy. In secret, I made drastic attempts at reconciliation, but she seemed so very different and distant. In early October of 2021, she received a call she had to step out for. I thought this odd because she only did that when things were bad. She received another call she had to step out for, and before she stepped out, I asked who it was and she stated it was our family friend. I asked if everything was okay and she said yes. After the second call she came upstairs and told me that she had to tell me something and that I was going to be mad but would talk after the kids went to bed. I could not wait and pressed her until she told me everything. Apparently she had been secretly texting this previous client the entire time. The guy's girlfriend, who has pressed sexual assault charges on him, had called my wife to tell her to stop. That if she didn't she would take her job and her license LCSW. She had been emotionally cheating on me this entire time. I had been working to reconcile, make changes, and reconnect. At first, I did not shame her, I did not blame her. I was there for her, ready to defend her license, career, and person. I started therapy to work on my issues. I made all the changes she wanted me to. But by December she began calling him while he was in prison, and everything rolled downhill from there. I tried compromising, focusing on accepting my past mistakes, taking responsibility, working to address my behaviors she identified as issues. To no avail. She has only grown stronger in love with him. An 11-year career criminal, drug dealer, felon who has lost custody of his children, and she has fallen out of love with me. She refused to try anything to repair anything. She is all in with this guy. Here's the kicker. She has never physically met him. Not once. I wanted to fight for everything for her, till the very last moment. But now we are at the point where she is moving out to an apartment. She is going to wait until he gets out jail. Whenever that is, she's going to lose her license she worked so hard for and that I supported her through for 6 years only to have it for 9 months. Everyone she knows cannot comprehend what is going on. Her family, her friends, therapist, psychiatrist, etc. She has shut everyone out that doesn't agree with her. I am at a loss and now I've given up. I can't keep fighting this hard. I love her with stupid blind love, but think it's time to let her learn that everything is going to come crashing down, and she walked away from the one person who would have done anything for her. This hurts so bad. Fiancé cheated on me with her friend. I really just need to tell my story to somebody other than my therapist, and I'm too ashamed to divulge the details to my closest friends or family. I've known my ex-fiancé for 11 years. We dated on and off the first 5 years, while I was active duty military, and we had been together for the last 6 years. At the point of my end of active service, she showed interest in joining a branch of service, and I supported the decision. I made sure she was prepared. We were planning on buying a house after she enlisted and settled in a bit. So I started to go through our finances, got us out of all outstanding debt, and worked on raising our credit scores to perfect. During that time I also purchased a brand new car for her cash. As we were planning on starting a family this year, a month into her being at her unit, she really started talking about marriage more frequently. So I decided to talk to her about setting a date. We did, and told friends and family to be prepared for the RSVP in the mail. A month later I get a FaceTime call from her hanging out with some friends, 2 married couples and 3 other single friends, 2 male, 1 female. I had met all these people before. I was at my friend's house, a couple. She was stationed about a 13-hour drive from me, and I was supposed to move there that month. Already got a transfer from my job. At some point during the call, while she was walking around having me greet everybody, one of the single males grabbed, hugged her rather inappropriately while greeting me. My friends also saw embarrassing. They waited until the call ended and asked if I had seen anything strange. I replied yes, I saw. A few days later I drove up to move some stuff. I picked up her phone to make a call as it was within arm's length. The password was changed, and for the first time in 6 years it was set to Do Not Disturb. At first I ignored it, as I thought I was probably just in my head about everything. When I did ask later that night, she got extremely defensive. I was not confrontational. There were a lot of other small signs that something was off. We had sex that night. I think we were both unaware that she was already pregnant for the guy. The next day I told her that there are a lot of things to work through before we get married, and suggested therapy did not go well. I packed the stuff I had brought and went home. I felt disgusted the whole time I was there for some reason, and decided to just end it. She found out she was pregnant that same month and got married to the guy the month after to save face, I guess, haha. We were not trying for a baby and took proper precautions. She did, however, have unprotected sex with the guy that night of the FaceTime call and blamed alcohol. Laughable. I warned her on multiple occasions about how easy infidelity is to stumble across in the military if you don't keep it together. She kept calling me saying I made the worst mistake of my life when she would be on duty at work at 2:3 a.m. away from her husband. I blocked her from contacting me everywhere possible. It has been a year and I finally have my life back together. I am still working on my mental health. All that, along with PTSD, severe anxiety and depression, has been a challenge. But I have come a long way. I am stable, sober and happy. I have lived through 6 good friends from the military taking their own lives over the past 3 years, and I could never have anyone feel the way I feel. I'm just happy I didn't get to a point where I considered that an option. If you read this, thank you for allowing me to release. I needed to share somewhere. Sorry for the choppy timeline, it's already a lot, haha. Didn't want to make it even longer.